Conservation, which is organized by the club and in collaboration with the Silviculture Division Kohima as part of the year-long celebration of the 25th anniversary of the Kohima Press Club, which is due in January next year.
Public informed and threats to biodiversity and climate change being real and directly confronting us, the Kohima Press Club took the initiative to organize this workshop, envisioning that it will help equip our members with more knowledge about biodiversity and conservation issues, and also help our media professionals to effectively report on biodiversity related issues. As our speakers,
having a place which is rich in biodiversity, has a lot of tree species, and one can really connect with nature, and that too very close to the city is a rarity these days, and we are fortunate to have such a big space which can calm our senses, we can enjoy the nature. It's good to have such a place in a city area especially, and we are fortunate to have such a place. So yes, again, thank you for choosing the botanical garden, and also collaborating with our silviculture division for this program. After the program, I would request everyone to please feel free to roam around and see our beautiful botanical garden as well. It has a lot of facilities, like lot of things to offer, like one orchidarium is there, one succulent house is there, and one beautiful trail is there. We have a lovely watchtower from where you can get the view of the Kohima city as well. So yes, I request everyone to kindly, after the program, do enjoy the botanical garden as well. Now coming to the topic of our workshop today, that is biodiversity and wildlife conservation. Generally, whenever we talk about conservation, we think of different approaches, and broadly we think of the few approaches which is like direct conservation, direct protection, which we do in having our national parks, sanctuaries, and through our law enforcement agencies, Forest Department is one as well. Apart from protection, we assist conservation through creating awareness as well. So awareness is again one of the medium, and apart from awareness, we do it by direct multiplication, which we generally know as breeding programs across the wildlife, and also the plantation activities when we talk about trees. And the fourth one, I would say, in an indirect way, we also support
this from the famous national TV, the NDTV, and Madam Bano Harlo used to be the reporting journalist, if I'm not mistaken, and she was like the hero of the Nagas. So we all used to be very proud of her, and we are very happy and proud that she's still doing very well, and she's still not wasting her time, and she's using her time for the goodness of our people. So thank God for that.
The incidents that are happening, because as Mr. Thong and also as Mr. Prabhat Kumar has already mentioned, the environment, the ecology, the ecosystems is all that we have if we are to survive into the next century. And just to take off a little bit from what Mr. Thong had already shared, and I will end with what Mr. Prabhat had also explicitly shared his views on, especially on plantations and on trees, etc. But you know, the marriage between indigenous knowledge, traditional knowledge, and science is available for us today, and that is what we need to bring together and collaborate. He talked about, the issues. They've churned out over 100 filmmakers with very good foundations, and I hope we will get time to see at least one of Teja's works, and so I will go rush through this. Like I said, but basically what I wanted to just say was about, when we talk about conservation, we often forget people. We think about policies, we think about governance, we think about economic funds and all that. But really, people at the heart are at the heart of conservation. And if we look at, but to understand this, what is this people? Who are these people? When we look at Nagaland, we are in a very, very critical stage of our evolvement. Because we are a small state, only 16,579 square kilometers to be exact. Yet, we look at this general statistics. So, a population of less than 2 million people, and with the relationship with the environment, we will see that the population growth rate is going to get affected in the next decade or so, because the replacement level of this population, we are higher than the national average, which is 2.37, and these are not good indicators. And although like our mortality rate is the best perhaps in the country, but fertility rate is going down in the state. So how is this connected with, the issue that we're talking about? It is directly related, because it is directly related to the access that our people have to nutrition, to good water, to good livelihood, to kind of like good, healthy lifestyles. Nagaland's geographical dispersion and weak rural infrastructure leave many women, pregnant women and children without nearby maternal child health services. So when we talk about conservation, I really feel people are at the center of this, and we need to look at these things more closely. And as journalists, it is one of our duties to see the infrastructure and the rollout, the delivery systems of medical care, of education, of roads, of water, of electricity. What is happening with these? Because very soon I'll show you what we have as budgets in all these heads also, and then how these are interrelated with the impact on the ground. So our population are estimated